shots. Watch your videos, man. Well, join us, cause any care shall be forgot. It's the after show chat. It's the after show chat. We'll have some fun. Game going nuts. We don't know what else to sing about. So I'll throw it in. Something. The clock is ticking and time to start the show. What time it is, we just don't know. Hopefully Mrs. Dufresne doesn't wake up. Oh, Mrs. Dufresne. Once it's for certain, we're all happy friends. And all together the fun never ends. So stick around and watch with us. It's the after show chat.
Get your butt to bed, Harold Dufresne.
Now it's time to talk about something that we all love. It's Food Chat with HD. Hungry? Well, you may just be after this, because it's time for Food Chat with HD. All right, it's Food Chat with HD. Gene, there's a method to my madness. I know you said wrong thing. It's like after the show chat, everybody knows just to come right at 9 p.m. But on this one, I always find that I need a little bit more buffer space for people to find us. Because usually when I just play our theme, the Food Chat theme song, and it ends, and everybody comes in like a minute or so later, 1 or 2 minutes. So I figure I need that little buffer. So that's why I'm experimenting, Gene. It's called it's called experimentation until we get it right. Until I get it right. But we had a good chat. We had a good crowd right whenever I started playing the other one. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. So I was just experimenting there. I did it last week too. Gang, welcome to Food. Now, according to StreamYard, I should be looking better than ever, but I don't know about that. But anyway, they said they upgraded. They're always upgrading their software, except for the options that we need over here. But gang, this is Food Chat with H. I see this black is just blending into the black, so that's make a note of that. We're getting a new background too. Gene is working on that. So Gene, Ramona, Adam, I didn't forget about you, my man. It gets dark. I'm gonna shoot that stuff for sure. Probably tomorrow. Oh yeah, for sure tomorrow, because we're getting off work early tomorrow. I'm gonna shoot that stuff for you for sure. And look, gang, we're gonna have 1,000 viewer celebration on Sunday. Just a little side note. So Adam, whatever you're working on, that might work out great for Sunday if you finish. I see Steve Templar and Jennifer Templar. Steve, check your direct messages. I sent you a message the other day. You may not check your direct messages on Facebook, but check them out. I asked you something. All right, gang. This is Food Chat. We have other people watching that's probably not in the chat. Well, welcome, and if you're watching later on, thank you. Now, look, gang, I'm going to try to keep this as civil as I can and try not to get myself into trouble tonight, because I'm going to go on a tangent. Don't I always on here? It just seems like, oh, boy, this is going to be a nice, easy episode. I won't have anything to complain about. But then, of course, that changes on me. So I'm going to try to be as not nice, but I'm going to try to keep it at a point. Hey, Sherry, my friend Sherry. We just right over here. Awesome. I'm so glad you made it in. And Perkman 758. Welcome. Oh, and Chantel. Awesome. All right, gang. But like I said, I'm gonna try to keep it a civil. I'm not gonna try to go off the rails too much when I talk about this place in Harahan. But I am going to speak the truth, because this place really, really, really got me mad, and I'm going to talk about it. Some people may have a different opinion. Some people may agree with me, but this is my opinions, and I'm gonna let them know. So where did I eat this week? Well, first off, we went to Alphonso's Seafood. Alphonso's Seafood is in Bell Chase. We never hardly ever go to Bell Chase, but we went to Alphonso's Seafood in Bell Chase. This I think it was. Don't worry, Adam. When I get to this restaurant, I'm gonna rant, and I also gonna talk about this place on the West Bank that were stealing the workers' tips. It's a news story down here, and I want to talk about this also because I used to work for tips, and the place I worked, it was a casino, did this to us, and it's not a good feeling. So I want to talk about this also about this restaurant in Gretna that was stealing were stealing employees tips. So, gang, the first place, like I said, we went eat at Alfonso Seafood. It was a place in Bell Chase. Now, this was a different mixed experience for us. The place is family owned, and I'm going to talk about this in 1 second. We started out with the boudin egg rolls. I just didn't find the boudin egg rolls were that fantastic. They didn't have much flavor to them. I just didn't find it was that great. They didn't drain. The problem we had with those two, they didn't drain that grease too well. So we ended up with a big, and this does not do it justice. It was a lot more grease in here. There was a lot of grease at the bottom of that. It's like they did let them sit for a little while and it just went right from the oil right into that basket. So it's it might, I don't know, I can't speak. It might be, and had a lot of grease in them. It had a lot of grease in them. But saying that, I got the half and half pull boy. I got the half shrimp, half oyster pull boy. Oh, I didn't name these. So let me see what this is. I didn't name them. So that was my shrimp right there. My shrimp and my oyster pull boy. The quality of the seafood was fantastic. The oysters were some of the best. The oysters, I'm going to tell you, the oysters were right out of this world. These oysters were fantastic. The onion rings were fantastic. It really was. The quality of the seafood, you could tell the quality. Those oysters were fried perfectly. They were juicy. They didn't over fry them. It was just, and then Mrs. D got the tenders, and I think this is what you were talking right here. I think maybe they were using some old grease on some of this. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Because we thought those chicken dinners looked a little dark on the dark side. So maybe they cooked those chicken dinners and those boudin egg rolls in the same grease, and they ended up a little bit. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Then maybe they ended up in the same grease, cooked in the same grease. Because my seafood was fried perfectly. They looked beautiful, but those two things, the chicken dinners and fried. Now, Mrs. D did not like her chicken dinners. She found it did not have enough spice. Mrs. D likes little spice seasoning in her food. So I gave that place a B. Mrs. D gave it a C, which I don't blame her. What she had was pretty average. She had the boudin egg rolls, which was kind of average. The fries were better than the chicken, I'll be honest with you. And her chicken was bland. My seafood, I gave it a B. My seafood po' boy was terrific. Honestly, those boudin egg rolls just dragged it down. It would have got an A if it would have been for those boudin egg rolls. I posted the review. I posted it up. The owner reached out to me, and this is what I was talking. Hey, Carolyn and Arthur, I can't wait. I was telling Mrs. D today. You don't know if this is my friends from the Bayou over here, and I believe it's Carolyn who always posts food. Or maybe it's Arthur. Maybe it's you, Arthur. I don't know, but they're always posting food pictures. And I told Mrs. D today. I said I can't wait for them to post what they're having for Thanksgiving coming up. So there you go. We talked about y'all in a good way, Carolyn and Arthur. We talk about y'all in a good way. Sean, this is what Mrs. D loves what she loves. Okay, Sean. I even said in the review, I said, I would have ordered a chicken dinner from a seafood restaurant, but she likes burgers, she likes chicken dinners, she likes seafood. But sometimes we get burned out on seafood, and sometimes, to be honest with you, we go to a place that we're not sure of, and we go eat a lot, and a lot of times some of that seafood, it does it. Well, I know I was wondering where y'all food pictures were. I didn't see as many food pictures that I saw before. Oh, I'm talking about my follower, my people I follow on Facebook on here. Want to find out what the 911 is, the 411 is with the info is with their food picture. Um, yeah, it seems like she orders that a lot. She likes chicken tenders. Hey, well, you like what you like. I mean, that's what I always say in a restaurant too. You know, you like what you like. You like burgers. You like this. I heard the burgers over there were good. Now the owner reached back out to me. I put it up. I didn't reach out to them particularly because I find that B is a good score. C's average. Um, and the owner reached out to me, and like a good owner does, he said, we try our best. I'm the Boudin egg rolls, they make them in house. We're sorry you didn't like that. And he explained the seafood. They shuck their own oysters with it. Probably I could tell those oysters were fantastic. And the reason they said the chicken tenders weren't as spicy or seasoning as Mrs. D likes him probably is because he said, John, this might be going through your point. He said mostly kids order the chicken tenders. I'm going to mention that. I'm going to talk about that in 1 second, Sean, that question. I'm going to address that. So he said, we don't, put too much spice because the kids complain if it's too spicy, which makes sense. So look, the guy, the owner, I'm assuming his name is Alphonso. I don't know. He reached through me through their company page. Invited us back. Basically doing what a good owner should do. Apologizing for the things that did go wrong. I gave him credit for everything that went great, and offered for us to go eat again if we weren't happy. And which is and I'm not, if we go back and eat, I'm gonna pay. I mean, I would never take nobody's free food for them. I'll be honest with you. But that is what a good owner, and that's my friend Sherry, who was in the chat just a little while. I don't know if Sherry's still watching or not, but we had the discussion Sunday when I was at her place, Lee's Hamburgers, right there on Airline, and I was helping out the Foodies of Metairie group, giving out free turkeys and Thanksgiving meals at Lee's, and I was talking to Sherry over there. I was helping them set up. Look, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to take no credit for that. That is what that is Leslie, who runs the Foodies of Metairie group, and Sherry who went and set all this up. I was just helping to unload the vehicle with Leslie when I first got there, and I wanted to go meet Leslie. I never met Leslie with the Foodies of Metairie group, and Sherry and Leslie worked her tail off to go and pick up all those turkeys. Shout out to Leslie, and they gave away all the turkeys, I believe. There you go, Sherry. They do those kids and Leslie, and Leslie's mom were the ones who was responsible, and they're going to do it again for Christmas. So if you're watching from Metairie, and Christmas is going to get tough around y'all house, or it's a family that needs a little bit help, be on the lookout in the Foodies of Metairie for that post, because they're going to give, and I'll try to reshare it. They're going to give they're going to be trying to do this again for Christmas, and I'm glad they had a lot of people a turnout that they gave away the stuff that people needed. So saying that, like I said, Alphonso's was a great owner, and we're going to go back and eat there again. There's no doubt in my mind that seafood was just too good not to. Thank you, Gene, and thank you, Steve. That seafood was just too good not to go back, and I bet they have a great boiled seafood too. So good experience, great experience over there to me. Mrs. D, I think if she would have ordered, like I told even though the owner, I would bet anything in the world. I heard great things about that burger over there, so I bet if she would have got a burger, it would have been fantastic. And if she would have been a little bit more, again, we eat seafood a lot of places, and you wouldn't believe how many times we get. It's kind of weird down here in New Orleans, but how many times we get shrimp or something, that is it the best, let's just say. So sometimes you go, and we had a bad meal before that, the day before we went to Perez, and I already talked about that last week. So we were still reeling from that. All right. So the next place I went to eat. All right, gang. Let's talk about the food first. And I'm going to talk about something that I do not believe should be done. In my opinion, maybe other people may have a different opinion, but here we go. Then we went eat at a Sunny Side Up restaurant in Harahan. Now, look, in all fairness, I reached out to Sunny Side Up twice. I reached out to them 2 times. They don't have much of a web presence. All right. I can't find too much. I couldn't find a website for them, honestly. I went through Messenger, through Facebook, reached out twice, trying to reach them just to, maybe they could explain themselves a little bit, but nobody ever reached back to me. I've been doing it since Sunday. I could call, but I have a feeling it'll just be the workers that will work that serve me. But maybe I'll try again. But anyway, they never reached out back to me. So let's start off with the food. Sunny Side Up. Now look, and I'm gonna be honest with you. In all fairness, Mrs. D loved her food over there. So you're gonna hear me rant a little bit about some stuff. But guess what? Mrs. D gave it a B. She had the breakfast, and she had the she had the pecan pancake. She said they were candied pecans. They were fantastic, she said. So gang, she gave it a B. She liked it. Now, basically she loved those pancakes. Now she got the scrambled eggs. I mean, it is scrambled eggs. It's scrambled eggs. Now she did get the combo. It came with tater tots and bacon, but my grandson took those. But and he gave it an A, in all fairness. But again, like I say in the video, he's a kid. He probably gave him a Coke, and he would probably give it an A. Now let's talk where the problem started. I got the Reuben. Now that's what I went. Honestly, sometimes I'm looking for a place that I am looking for. That I do research on Saturday. I kind of fly by the seat of our pants. Wherever we end up is wherever we end up. But Sunday is getting harder and harder to find places that are open. Independent places. I don't want to go eat at a chain. If I could help it. So, a lot of places are closing on Sunday. Maybe the businesses are, busy as it was, or maybe they need a break, and that's a good day for them to take a break. So it's harder and harder to find a place to go eat on Sunday, honestly. So I do my research, and I found this place. And what really drew to me was the Reuben. That they had a Hawaiian dish, and they had a Reuben that and if you don't know, this is Sunny Side Up. It's in Harahan. Now, somebody wrote me and said, that's in Elmwood. It's right off of Citrus. I said, yeah, I consider that Elmwood too. But the official address on their address, for everything I looked up, they are using a Harahan address. Whatever, it's listed as Harahan. So I say Harahan. I go with the official. Now, look, gang, over here, it says, I don't know if you can see, but it says open 24 hours. They are not open 24 hours. They must have changed in the time since they put up that sign. Bad planning. Don't put up a sign that the permanent sign is going to say open 24 hours when you have to make adjustments later on. But it is what it is. So this is the Reuben, and it's hard to see right here from the bottom one. Reuben over here, it describes what it's going to get, and I'm going to come back to this in 1 second. Now, the problem now, first off, the service was bad. Okay, the service was bad. We sat down. It took a while I thought maybe we were supposed to wait to get seated, but if we would have waited, our legs would have been tired because nobody ever came to help us. But by the time the server came around, brought, I don't know what, they brought the menu, then they went back and said, I'll be back in a little bit. They came back. What do you want to drink? We got our waters, whatever you drank. Went back. Then came. And so it was a long process. Food came out fast, but the service was just, So I'm going to show you something right here on the menu. And I don't know if you can see, there's the Reuben right here, the menu item. There's the pick. Well, look, gang, now look, this sandwich looks good. On the menu, this sandwich looks decent. I mean, this is now, Ramona. I'm not gonna. So you got a pickle. It says. No, I didn't. No, you could read right there. No pickle for me. On the Reuben, you see the description: grilled chicken with corned beef, Swiss cheese, this harissa sauce, the spicy sauce. No sauce. I asked the lady, and she said, "Oh no, we don't put that no more." Okay, no problem. No problem. En juice, right here. Serve it. Guess what? No sauce for me. No au jus. They don't come with that no more. So, and I want you to take a note of the price, $12.29. So we got our food, and now it comes with a potato. I got the loaded potatoes. It's supposed to be loaded with onions and green peppers and whatnot. And this is my Reuben over here that I got in the thing. Now, gang, I've eaten a lot of Reubens. I've eaten a lot of pastrami sandwiches. Ramona knows I love. I know, sometimes I overlook those things. Sometimes I go at my own risk. I saw a couple of good ones, and no, whatever. It was that Steve. That's a good. That Reuben was so light on. It was corned beef, but it was just a bin sandwich. It was just a bin. It was. There was one measly. Now look, gang. I've had Reubens all over the United States. I had Reubens in other countries. Then every time I already had a Reuben, even on the cruise ship, the one that was bad and tasteless, they put more than one slice of corned beef or whatever they're going to put pastrami in there. Okay. This was one slice of corned beef, which I could understand. It was, which I could understand if it was $8.99, $9.99, but for the price $12.29, I said, this is kind of skimpy. It's kind of, first off, there was no sauces that they said they were going to put on it and whatnot. Okay, those things happen. But one slice like this was pathetic. That bottom bread, if you watch the review, the bottom bread was very, very hard. There was parts in there where I honestly could have broke a tooth with that bottom bread. It was like, I don't know if they just cooked one part too long. I don't know. It was hard, the bottom bread. Not all of it, but there was a certain section in there that was just hard. That was a good quality meat. All right. You could tell that was some prepackaged sliced meat. They probably freeze pieces of it and warm it up on the grill. I don't know. Whatever. I can't speak how they cook their food. Now, look, gang, those potatoes tasted like they were cooked about 2 hours in advance. Like whenever you cook the potatoes and you let them sit out for a while and you try to maybe warm them up a little bit, become rubbery and whatnot. They're not fresh. That's what those potatoes taste like. I could not eat those potatoes. Well, first off, I had to eat it with a spoon because the server did not give us no. So they left one. Well, they didn't leave it. It was already there on the table. One little pack of silverware with a napkin. Never offered to bring us another silver. We had 3 people. No, didn't bring no other silverware for anybody else. So we had to steal silverware from another table. And people are going to say, well, I'm going to address this too. People are going to say, those toothpicks, I don't know if it was to take out Steve, you know what I use my toothpick for, since I did not have a fork, I only had a spoon because they didn't bring us no silverware. I used my toothpick to try to eat the potatoes, those pathetic potatoes. I picked it. That's what I used for my fork. I could have used 2 of them, made a little chopstick, but I used them and was eating my potatoes. When my spoon wasn't working as good to eat potatoes, I was using my yeah, it is fancy. Yeah, they put that toothpick. Funny, I'm going to talk about that in 1 second. So now again, I could have tracked down the server and asked for another silverware, but I wanted to see if they would bring it. I wanted to test it. I'll be honest with you. I wanted to see what would happen. Never came around, checked. Now people are going to say, well, why did they say something they were cool? Because first off, again, server never came around, so I'm going to have to go hunt down the server. Never see they serve you, and they're not around. When I went to pay the bill too, I think the server got mad at me because they brought the bill, and I said, I'm not waiting a half hour. This is so slow. I'm going to go to the counter and pay. And when I went to the counter to pay, I think the server got a little attitude, like you're supposed to wait for me. You're supposed to pay me. You don't come around what you want. But anyway, So I gave off the bat right there. It was bad food. It was bad food. But Mrs. D liked her pancakes. Fine, fine. And I get the bill. Now, gang, I wanted to put this back up. There is nothing more in the world that I get teed off for than a place that I think is just ripping off people. Mrs. D, Gene, I put up the picture of the pancake. Basically, that's what Mrs. D got was the pancake. It's right over here. This is basic. Mrs. D basically got the pancakes right there. That was the pancake that the powdered sugar and whipped cream on top. She liked it, and basically it was the eggs I showed right here. That was what Mrs. D got, the pancakes, and the eggs. To me, the eggs look pitiful, but anyway. But she said they were good. She likes breakfast. All right. So I do not like to get ripped. You're welcome, Gene. I cater to my viewers. I inquire about what Carolyn and Arthur are having for Thanksgiving. I inquire. I'm happy to please. You know me. I love my viewers. So I get the bill. And I look at it. And gang, so on mine, and you can see right here, the pancake combo listed on the menu was $12.29. Now they charged me $13.29. Okay. My Reuben was supposed to be $12.29. It says on the menu. It was $13.99. So basically, my Reuben was $1.70 more, and Mrs. D's was $1 more than what they said on the menu. Now take for granted too, $1.70 more, and there was not everything that they promised on the menu. There was no pickle, which I love my pickles. If you know HD, he loves his pickles. That irks me. Don't show a pickle when you don't even get one, even a spear. Just put a spear, dang. So $2.70 extra. And of course, there was no sauce, like I said, no juice, whatever. So $2.70. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what the world? They said this was this and this. Then it hit me. On the bottom of the menu, it says, prices subject to change. And then I'm thinking, wait a minute. That's how they get you. So in other words, and they did respond, and I asked them. So in other words, would you put on that menu right there that you give people? You could put a piece of tape on it. You could put a piece of paper on it and write over with some freezer tape. And don't say, oh, that don't look good. Well, guess what? Don't look good. Whenever you charge $1.70 or $2 more, almost $3 more for your food than your menu prices. So you get away with it because you put prices subject to change. And people are going to say, oh, Harold, you're complaining about $3 or whatever. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to throw you in this. You walk inside Walmart or Rouse's or any supermarket, and they put a little sign outside and it says prices subject to change. So you go get that item off the shelf, you and your family struggling, whatever, and the mayonnaise was on sale for $2.99. So that's what it was sale for this week at some places. $2.99 for the blue plate mayonnaise. And you go check out, and the lady says, that'll be $14, please. I mean, it's $2.99. She'll say it's $4 or $5. And there you go, man. And there's my friend Madeline from I know. Ed, let me tell you, I don't like to take it out on the workers, because the workers don't have nothing to do with it. Now it was bad service, but you know what? I'm nice. I still tip even. That's just me. That's my downfall. I'm still going to tip it's just to show, what, I'm better than, not better, but I'm better than that. I'm just still going to tip. But anyway, that's my personal preference. That's besides. And I'm going to talk about tipping in a little bit in that restaurant. But if you go to Walmart, Rouse's, and then you get it's on sale for $2.99 the mayo or whatever it be, and they charge you $4 or $5, you're gonna say something. You're gonna say, wait, that's the wrong price. It said $2.99 on the shelves. It probably happened to a lot of you. You go get something at Rouse's that says one price, they charge you something else. You catch it, you're gonna say, hey, that's not the right price. It said this was on sale for $2.99. What's up with that? Well, there's the same. Oh, sure, but you didn't see that sign when you walked in? It says price is subject to change. So we're going to charge you $5. You look like you have more money than the next person. So I'm going to charge you $5 this time. It looks like you won't complain. So I'm going to charge you. Basically, you know what? Maybe they just do that. Maybe they look at you and say, this person won't complain. So we're going to charge them 14. We're going to charge them 30. Price is subject to change. Sorry. So gang, don't say it's a little bitty thing if a restaurant's going to rip you off. Don't think it's a little, because I get this attitude. Well, it's only you wanted lettuce and tomatoes. It's only 40 cents. Look, when you let people do this, when you let restaurants do this, you're letting them get away with it. And it's 40 cents, 40 cents, 40 cents, $2, $3. Oh, this Reuben was $12.29. We changed it to $3.79, but we didn't let nobody know. You're not going to let you know. We're not going to tell you they don't have this on it or they don't have that, but you're going to charge you extra. So, well, Charlie, I've had a great one at a kosher Cajun deli. I had that great, and I know like Stein's and other deli places. Look, I was just taking a chance. Somebody told me the Hawaiian dish was great over there. I was taking a chance, and maybe the Reuben would have been good too. I'll be honest with you. And Charlie, to answer your questions about I hope you heard, but why did I say something about the fork or something? Sometimes I like to test them. I like to see what they're going to do. It gives me a good indication. I'll take it on the chin for I'm there doing a review. I'll take it on the, whatever. But gang, to me, if a restaurant is doing this, it's unacceptable. Put your prices. Let people know. Now, I can understand it says market price. Hey, my Reuben, it's market price. Okay. How much you charging me this week for that little skimpy piece of corned beef you're going to put on there? How much is it? That way I could ask, But if you just put a price but you put a little disclaimer on the bottom that says price is subject to change, and you go check out and they charge you whatever you want, no warning. And you don't know. I mean, your first time customer, you don't know what they're going to, you're just in there to eat and you see the price. So I order my kids a kids meal for $7.99. You order a kids meal and then they say, no, it has 12. Market price is subject to change. Basically, you're allowing them to charge whatever they want. And it makes me mad. And I gave this place an F. Well, I don't give many Fs out. The food was bad, but this really just pushed me over the top. And I'm calmer now than I was whenever I did the review. I'll be honest with you. But what do you think? You think I'm being unreasonable? Maybe if you're watching later, leave it in the comments, leave it in the chat, or whatever. Leave it on the comments in the review. Am I being unreasonable? That I just ask, what is the price? Or you could charge whatever you want. Now, I reached out to this restaurant twice. Maybe they could explain themselves. Nobody ever got back with me. If they do, I'll follow up on this and let y'all know what they said. But I'm telling you, gang, people don't, yeah, exactly. Prices should put a piece of freezer. I've seen restaurants do this. Put a piece of freezer tape right there on the menu and just write in a different price. Boom, you know what you're getting. Jody, thank you. I don't think I am being unreasonable. You want to know what you're getting. Again, I could just go to the example of you going to Rouse. You're going to a service station. You go fill up, and they say gas is $2.79, and you go fill up, and it's $3.89. It says price is subject to change. Same exact same concept. So, gang, this place deserves an F. I'm going to tell you. And I don't think it's right. And I guess it's legally right to just put something on and saying prices subject to change and you could charge whatever you want. But to me, it's not right. It's bad business practices. It is horrible. Exactly. And And it's not only being cheap. I want to make sure, look, I don't like to get ripped off. If a place is serving me $16 for a measly corn, whatever it is, I want to know. I want to know how much you're charging me for those fries. Because I might make my decisions on that. If you're charging me $7 for fries, I'm not going to order you dang fries. Okay. So, so if we let restaurants do this, and look, and I'm not saying this is the first time ever. Now, look, I could understand this is different. Well, AJ, I'm so glad. I don't know if you ran into if you have eaten there, did you run into the same problems of them just changing the menu prices at will whenever you go check out? And look, some people may not even pay attention. Some people may not even notice. I just happen to look at it. Now I'm looking at it all the time because I'm going to be careful. But saying that the service was bad. I mean, the breakfast, Mrs. D liked the breakfast. Okay. That's why she did pay. So she wasn't as upset as me. Well, but the more we let places do this, they'll just get away with it. Now, this is the first time I ever ran into this situation. Now, my train of thought before I talk about the last topic. I could see a place saying, look, if you pay with credit card, we're going to charge you this because they put the service charge on. I understand that. I get it. I understand. You tell me in advance. If you pay with a credit card, you're going to be charged a little bit extra because we have to eat the fees. So you need to pass that on to you. We're already on a tight margin as it is. If you pay with a credit card, then we're gonna, you're gonna have to pay for the fees. I understand that's different than just blatantly telling you one price. It's a switch. It's a bait and switch. Wow, that Reuben's $12.29. I'll get it. Get the bill. No, it isn't. It's 14. April Fool. It's November, dude. All right. There you go, AJ. I'm telling you, not a lot of people will pay attention. And never saw cars there when we passed. And they said 24 hours. Somebody said, that's it. That's Elmwood, Harold. I said, well, on their address, it says Harahan. Maybe they're lying about their address, too. They already lie about their menu prices. Maybe they're lying about their address, too. Gang, I can't recommend. And look, if you go in there and you see them, let me know if you go eat there and you find, maybe they just saw me. I look like a rich man in my after show chat shirt. They said, oh, he could afford an extra $1.70. Well, I don't know. I don't know. What am I supposed to do? All right, gang. Let's talk about something else this week that really teed me off, and then we're gonna I'll wrap all this up. There is a place that I read. Rice was extra for the butter chicken. Wow. And it was $20. Wow. Oh, you want rice? It's it. They give me rice with lo mein. I never understand that. They give you plain rice with lo mein sometimes. It's like, well, I already have noodles. I don't want rice too. $20 each. Oh my goodness. Throw some dang rice in there, Steve. Well, Tiny Tim. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well, my fine sir. That's our friend Tiny Tim. And Steve, I'm going to talk about this next week. I went to eat at an Indian buffet in Metairie, which I did to get to put up the review. I'll talk about that next week, and I'll talk about that restaurant. Don't want to give no spoilers. All right, gang. There's a news story I saw out there. All right. I love it, Tim. Thank you. Tim was going on one of our records, too. Just did the Halloween. Great musician. A great artist, I should say. So there's a place called Chopsticks Buffet. Now, with a name like Chopsticks, it's going to be good, and especially when you see buffet in it. But anyway, I'm not going to judge the place. Now, look, gang, this is all I'm just reading this from the news story. If these people are innocent, I am just gathering my facts from what was reported from the labor board. From the U.S. Labor Board put out a report, and this is where I'm getting my facts from, not from a news source or anything else. I'm getting it from the labor board itself. I went to the labor board site and looked up the case because I wanted to make sure I got it right. So there's a place, Chopsticks Buffet in Gretna. It's right off of Stump Boulevard. If you know, if you're from that area, there's a little shopping center right there in the corner of Stump. They have a Academy Sports, then there's a little strip mall, and they have a Harbor Freight. There's a Rouse's in the back of that little strip mall. I think there's a Dollar General in there that we've been to before, and I think maybe a Dollar Tree. I'm not sure, but there's other little stores in there. And in there is the Chopsticks Buffet. Chopsticks Buffet. Well, I think this week or last week or 1 week, they got busted. And what they got busted for was keeping tips from their employees. So whenever you go eat at Chopsticks and you're leaving a tip on your credit card, thinking that the hardworking servers get that tip. No, the owners, according to this report, were pocketing it instead of giving them the tips. And that is always a worry of mine. And I know it. I'd hope. And it gets me questioning about places. And again, that's why I start thinking about a place like Sunny Side Up and their questionable business practices. I'm not saying that they do it, but it just gets me thinking at some of these places. If you have questionable business practices, what else are you doing questionable? What else are you skimping back there? The expired meat, it's still good. I'm going to serve it. I'm not saying they do it. I'm not accusing them of doing it, but it just gets me questioning them. Okay, I'm not saying that they're doing it, but it gets me questioning it. If you're going to do this kind of stuff, you get me questioning your other practices. But anyway, so yeah, Steve, you're right. Dirtbags just stealing people's hard-earned earnings. They're already working for minimum, for less than minimum wage because they're working in a restaurant serving people, working hard. These are hard workers. That's why even a bad server, I just chalk it off to maybe they're having a bad day. And I just do not like to rip off. I feel bad if I do that. Maybe they're having a tough day at work, at home. Maybe their kids are giving them trouble and they're just coming in with attitude. I understand those things happen. And that's why I give them the benefit of the doubt. Not the owners so much, but the servers, I give them more of the benefit of the doubt than I will. Maybe I should sometimes. Because Mrs. D already told me many times that you gave her too much. She was a horrible server. She had a bad attitude. I know. But I still have a family to feed, and I still feel bad. So, but gang, so listen to this. They stole, according to the labor board report, $81,000. Now, this ain't no $100 tips. Oh, we stole $100 from them and didn't give it to them. Now, I don't know what the time period of this, but $81,681 in tips from their workers for 12 workers. They had 12 workers, employees, and they stole $81,681. Again, they didn't steal $5 from the employees. They stole 81. And basically, they had 12 employees. It breaks down to roughly about 68, almost 69, depending probably the hours. About close to 7,000 an employee. I don't know what time period. Maybe it's 6 months. I don't know what the time period is. But gang, a company stealing $81,000 from their employees is pitiful. Pitiful. If this is true, if this report what they were charged with, I'm inclined to believe it. It's coming from the labor board. That is just the lowest of the low. I'm going to tell you right off the bat. Yeah, Madeline, that is just terrible. That is the lowest. I agree, Steve. And they're probably going to just get a fine. Because it's a labor issue. They're probably just going to get, it should be theft. They should press criminal charge. If I'd be whatever they want to do. But I agree with you. That's just theft. It's just theft. And then the one worker, and I read, they just gave them the tips instead of paying them outright like they're supposed to for the labor board. So they paid them $1,400. They gypped them out of $1,400. And they just paid them tips and said, I don't understand that. But anyway. Yeah, but you know, Adam, what's going to happen? I mean, this place is a little off the wall chopstick buffet. They're gonna, I mean, who knows even who owns that? They're just gonna declare bankruptcy, and the these people, they ain't gonna, the poor workers. I don't think are ever gonna get a penny of that back. Now, what you're gonna say? Why were they still working if they knew this was going on? Well, obviously they needed a job. And again, I don't know how long it was for. I don't know the situations. I don't know if these people. I can't speak for them. But in the past, I used to work on a cruise ship um, out of Galveston, and they basically did something like this to us, where we were making good tips. We were doing good in the casino. It was on a cruise ship out of Galveston. It was the Pride of Texas cruise ship, which later became the Copa Casino in Gulfport, which eventually became Island View. It's the same people. Green and the guy's name is Green who owns it, and the other guy Terry, I forget his last name. I worked for those people for a good while. I worked for them when they had a cruise ship in Gulfport. They moved the cruise ship to Texas. I worked for them, and I worked on them for them whenever they changed all that to the Copa Casino. So I worked for them. Um, I'm going to talk about that, AJ. I saw that. I want to talk about that. So we were doing good in Texas. We're making good tips. So the management decided, they saw us making good money, the dealers. They wanted a piece of the action. So they got this little scheme going that instead of giving the tip splitting among the dealers, the workers in the casino, that deserved it, that was doing the work, they came up with this new system. They said, it's going to be better for you. Oh, yeah, it's going to be better for me? How? Tell me. Well, we're going to rate every one of y'all. And we're going to give out those tips that y'all got based on your rating. Okay? We're working hard because maybe this guy's a little bit better blackjack dealer than me, deserves more money than me. So you're going to rate us? It don't make no sense. I never heard of this. I worked in the casino industry for a long time. I never heard of this. So guess who got the best ratings? Well, the casino manager was into this pyramid scam thing for health for the skin care. And if you bought into it and you started buying into their products and paying their prices for their products, and he got on a higher tier for that hair, the face, whatever it is, the screen, the face cream, he's making more money in the long end on this little Ponzi scheme they have on this lotion business they're having, pyramid scheme. So if you're into it, your rating's high. You're a 5-star person. You're going to get all the tips. And then the manager started getting the tips. Yeah, he's a 5-star manager. Well, he's not doing the work. He got paid pretty good for being a dang pit boss. So I was a good blackjack dealer. I got like a 3-star. I was like, really? Well, yeah, this. Always some excuse. So basically, they stole out tips. Now, and I got reversed when everybody was starting to walk out after a little while. But Gene, you don't know half this story. I mean, I share a lot on after show chat, but there's a lot I don't talk about on there too, like this. So it was just a scheme to get people to buy their facial product and get into this Ponzi scheme that was the best. You know how those things are. Oh, these are the best. You put this on, you won't have wrinkles for the rest of your life. Well, I never used it. Okay. Adam, you're right. Look, it was. I never saw this in the industry. And of course, the head of the casino, and I'm going to say who it is. John Brandt. I forget what it is. I should have. I better I'd say it because I forgot his name. But he was the head of it, so of course he was getting parts of the tips too. So even the casino manager and the managers and everybody else, now all of a sudden, and listen to this would happen. And I'm going on for too long now. But the customers used to see us get our tip. We'd be happy. Hey, knock it on the table. Tip, 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 tip. Thank you, my man. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Then you put them in a little tip bucket right there. So what happened was, dealers would get a tip, and you'd be, yeah, thanks. And then you'd have to put it in the drop box where you drop the money that the casino, right? Like if somebody buys in, it's called a drop box. So if they give you $100, you give them their chips and you put the money in the drop box. So you get a tip and you're not excited no more because you know what you're going to see out of that $20 tip is a penny or whatever it is because you're rated low as it is. The customers love you because you're fun and you're dealing well and you're making people laugh and you're having a good time with them. That's the people that's going to make more tips. The people that's just there dealing and not interacting with the people are going to make less tips. That's how it is. It's like anything, any other industry. So basically, the system was all screwed up. The person being personable should have gotten more tips anyway. But anyway, that's besides the point. So they would see you, you'd be unhappy. Even they give you $100 tip. Yeah, thank you. And you put it in the drop box. So the customers started seeing, they asked, why y'all putting it in the drop box? Why don't you have your little tip box no more? And like me, I was honest. I don't care. And a lot of other dealers were honest. And we told them, oh, yeah, we don't get to keep the tips no more. They have a new point system. We got to put it in here. And they count that with the money in the casino. And we just get like a certain point system or something. And then the customers were getting mad. They were talking to them. Hey, dude, I want to give this to the workers. These guys that they tip me, they entertain me for 3 or 4 hours at the blackjack table. I want to make sure they get the tips. I know. So word got around and they changed it up eventually, but it was a horrible system. And so I could definitely relate to getting your tips. Gene, I'm going to tell you something. Don't ever call me a 3-star dealer. Me and my friend Waylon were 5 stars. 5 star. When they had a high limit game, there was 2 people they knew they could trust. Me and my buddy Waylon. Okay? I was a 3-star in their book because I wasn't buying into their skincare products. But don't let that fool you. I was the best blackjack dealer, one of the best blackjack dealers. I'll put it this way. At one point, I guarantee you I was one of the top not blackjack dealers. Why would they put me? They'd always put me in the high limit games. Don't insult me, Gene. Don't insult me. I was a 5 crabber. I was a 5-star. Oh, don't say I was a 3-star. I thought you were my friend. All righty, gang. Look, all right, I went too long. I knew I wasn't going to do that. But I want to point one more thing out before we go. And I'm going to forget next week, so I'm going to hurry do it. This is food chat. I'm going to talk about this. I went on too long. But look, I found this at Rouse's. It's the Zing Zang Bloody Mary ketchup. And I'm going to tell you, gang, if you see this at Rouse's, it's a little bit more expensive than regular ketchup. It was like $4 at Rouse's, but Amazon sells it for 10. But it's a new ketchup by Zing Zang. And if you like the flavor of a Bloody Mary, and you wish, boy, I wish I could dip my French fries into this Bloody Mary. I know that sounds gross, but I like the flavor of that Bloody Mary. This ketchup is off the hook. I'm telling you, they have the Worcestershire sauce. They got the onion powder. They got the celery salt. They got everything you'd put in a Bloody Mary is in here in a ketchup form. And let me tell you, this stuff has a little kick, has red peppers. It don't have an overpowering. It's not super spicy, but this has a little kick. It tastes awesome. That's the Zing Zang Bloody Mary ketchup. Don't miss it. All right, gang. I hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving. I think me and Mrs. D just found out tonight we will be eating at Hollywood Casino or some casino buffet for Thanksgiving. My daughter went camping. So it's just gonna be me and Mrs. D like it has been the last few years. And there you go, Steve. I would not. Oh, Steve, I wanted to tell you real fast. On the cruise ship, the last cruise we went to, I saw a guy drinking a drink, and I thought of you. And I said, "What is that?" I asked the bartender, and the guy said, "Oh, that was a Bloody Caesar." I said, "Oh, I know Steve. Steve from Canada." I didn't say that to the guy, but I said, "I know my friend from Canada already drank that. Give me a Bloody Caesar." And boy, let me tell you, Steve, that thing, I'm into Bloody Caesars now. Forget about Bloody Marys. I'm into the bloody It is the best. I'm into Bloody Caesars now. After I had that, it was like, man, I ain't going back to no Bloody Mary. I'm getting the Bloody Caesar. Turning into Canadian, eh? They had a lot of Canadians on that ship. I'm turning into, I tell you what, the Steve special. That's what I call it, the Steve special. So Thanksgiving, we're probably going to go eat. We're thinking Hollywood because we have a coupon. You know, I'm cheap. I like to go. So depending on the lines, but they're supposed to have crab legs at the buffet at Hollywood Casino. So we're going to go eat that. Yeah, y'all do. Y'all do. Y'all make good movies and good characters and good Bloody Caesars. So we're going to do that. If whatever y'all doing for Thanksgiving, I hope y'all have a great time no matter what y'all do, whether it's spending time with family, eating out with your family. And look, gang, if any of my New Orleans peeps, Metairie peeps, wants to invite HD over to their house for Thanksgiving, just give me a little mess. No, I'm just joking. People are like, I'm not inviting HD. He's going to critique my food. Gang, if I ever go eat at somebody's house, I would never critique your food. You'd be kind enough to. I've been told that before when we went to function. They said, HD's in the house. We better make sure the food's good. He's going to give us a bad grade, you know. But of course, they're joking around because I would never, ever critique somebody's food like that. I'm a jerk, but no, I'm not a jerk. But anyway. So Thanksgiving, whatever y'all gonna decide to do. And I look, Friday is gonna be Black Friday. I'm really, this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping a lot of these restaurants that people's been telling me to go to that's been closed on the weekend are open Friday, and I'll be able to go eat at one of these. There's Central Po' Boys I've been wanting to go eat at right there and on Central Avenue over there in there. Giorlando's, people have been telling me to go. I hope maybe they'll be open for Black Friday and I would be able to go eat there finally. So I'm hoping one of these restaurants that are normally closed for weekends are open on Friday and I'll be able to go do a review. Gives me an opportunity to do a review of a place I usually would be able to go to. And this weekend, I'm sure we're going to go eat out a lot. Hey, Crispy. Long time no see. Thank you for letting me tag you. It sounds weird, but Crispy Shrimps knows what I'm talking about. So, gang, everybody have a great Thanksgiving. And look, gang, let me know, please, if you ever go eat at Sunny Side Up. I saw that one last thing. Village Inn is right next to my daughter's house, AJ. I saw Village Inn in River Ridge was open recently. I looked at some of the menu. It does look great, and it is open on Sunday. Yeah, they are open on Sunday. You're right, and it's right next. I saw it this Sunday. I saw it this Sunday. We went to my daughter's house before we went eat, or maybe after. But I don't know what day it was. But anyway, I saw they were open on Sundays too. Village Inn is a little place that's been closed for a while. I always pass in front of it and say, man, I don't know why nobody ever opened this back up. So Village Inn, I will get there, AJ. I will get there. Definitely. All right, Madeline. Thank you so much for watching, Madeline. HD. I know. I won't. That's right. Adam, you said the best line right there. I won't critique it. I'll just say, we'll give our final thoughts in the car. We'll give our final thoughts outside. We won't say in front of you. We'll wait till we get in the car and then talk about the food. No, I want a Caesar too. I want a Bloody Caesar myself. Oh Lordy. All right. Yeah, there's a different village. There's one in New Orleans there, Crispy. It's a little village in. But I will get there, AJ. I promise. Thank you so much for AJ. Thank you all for watching. We really had a good little turnout tonight. And if you're watching later on, I do appreciate it. And let me know if y'all been to places that y'all saw they changed the menu prices on you. Please let me know. I don't know why it's hitting me so much. Maybe because I go eat out more and I pay attention to these things and I notice these things. But I don't know. And look, a shout out to, I'm not going to say their name. Oh, where is it? I don't even know where it's at. Oh, there it is. I'm not going to say their name, but I got this. Well, it was anonymous until I opened the letter. I'm going to put out their name over here. They sent me this, a couple from Laplace, and I thank them so. I'm not Laplace. Yeah, Laplace. They sent me a little thing, said they love my videos, they enjoy them, and they sent me 40 cents. They said, next time you go eat out, I hope this helps pay for your meal. And I thought to myself, why in the world would they send me 40 cents? That's unusual. Then Gene, who's in the chat, my right hand on after show chat. Ramon is my left hand with the music on after show chat. Gene's my right hand, making all my backgrounds and videos and whatnot. Gene realized, they said that was because when you went to eat at Paran's, you talked about they charge you 40 cents extra for the topping, so they're sending you 40 cents back. I said, that's genius. So shout out to that couple and they looked me up. They must have Googled my name and found out my address. Scary. Look, if you want to Google my name and send me something, I'll take cash. I'll take 40 cents. You can send me 40 cents. I lost $2.79 and at this Sunny Side Up. You could send me the $2.79 if you'd like. If you Perkman 758. Awesome, man. I did not know who that was. Perkman 758. That is awesome of you. I sent you a letter today. I sent you a letter. I didn't know who you were, so I wrote a letter, handwritten, just like you did. I wrote you and your wife a letter today. It's not much, but I just, again, made a little joke back to y'all. And that is genius, Perkman 758. That is funny. Hey, Nancy Walker from California. Oh, man, I went an hour. All right, gang. I don't want this to become after show chat that I have to get my butt to bed. Yeah, I know, Perkman. Got to keep my eye on you. I know, Perkman. We know you're not. I was just joking. It's so easy to find some. Believe me, that was the perfect inside joke. That was. And yes, I am very available. All you got to do is look up. I don't hide nothing. You can find out what time I go to work. Probably if you look hard enough, you can find out my whole daily routine. I'm sure I posted it before, my whole routine somewhere. But Perkman, we know you're not. And Perkman, that is a genius in a little joke because I could not figure it out. Perkman, I'll tell you the truth. I told this to business. I said, maybe this person's a rich person. They're going to give me 40 cents this week, 80 cents next week, $1.16 the week after, $3.20 the week after. I was getting excited. And then Gene busted my bubble and said, no, Harold, that was for 40 cents for Paran's Pool Boy. That was a genius move there, Perkman. Hope I meet you one day because I tell you what, you and your wife have a great sense of humor, and I love a little inside joke like that. That was perfect. All right, man. All right, gang. I mean, and that's why I started doing this show. I met so many interesting people since I started doing reviews. A lot of people, Sherry and I mean, I just met so many people. Leslie in the Foodies of Metairie group, and went help her out. And everybody, I know people sometimes don't like me to speak the truth. But more times than not, I've made connections, and a lot of people do appreciate it. And I made friends, like people watching today, and like Perkman, who send me stuff like that. AJ, Charlie, who's always watching my videos, and other things out there. So Madeline, I met you through the food groups. I know that. Adam, well, I've been knowing you forever, Adam. Sorry, but a lot of these people in here in the chat. I did meet through there, and I do appreciate everybody. I really, really do appreciate all of y'all watching, and look, sticking around for a long night tonight. Yeah, you better watch out, Perkman. I'm gonna trick you. Next time I'm gonna accuse you of stealing $100 from my topping, so you could reimburse me. No, I won't do that, Perkman. I do, yeah, appreciate it. It takes a lot for somebody to come up with a joke like that. Take the time to write a little letter, look me up, tape the 40 cents on that letter, and send it in. I admire you. That is a all right, Krabby, just like Krabby too. That is an Andy Kaufman move there, Perkman. I don't know if you're a fan of Andy Kaufman. That's an Andy Kaufman move right there. That's like genius. All right. I'm impressed. All right, gang. We'll be back next week. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. Whatever you're going to decide to do, please, Adam, I will get with you. tomorrow, like I said, we're closing the shop at 12, so I'm going to be able to have some daylight. I'm going to do that thing for you. And this Sunday, if y'all want to watch, we're going to be celebrating 1,000 subscribers, just like the people watching today, just like the people watching this. Maybe you don't watch my regular after show chat, but on Sunday night, when we celebrate 1,000 subscribers, this is going to be about you guys, my people that came in after I started doing reviews, basically what it is. And a lot of people watch after show chat now. So if you don't usually watch after show chat Sunday at 9 p.m., and you're one of these new subscribers that helped me push me over to the top to 1,000, or help the show, go up to 1,000 after show chat, get over 1,000. This show's for you. This celebration is for you. People like Adam and Perkman and Krabby and all these people. Cassandra. Oh, Cassandra's been here since the beginning. All right. Cassandra's been Cassandra was one of the originals. Oh, Cassandra. I called Cassandra my little sis. Cassandra came to New Orleans. She knows. Nancy Walker, that show Sunday nights for you. One of our 1,000 subscribers. We're going to celebrate you guys. All right, gang. Oh, I know. And Ken, maybe I'll do a review of a McRib again this year. Oh, maybe. I don't think so. All right, little sis. Big bro. Little sis. All right. All right, gang. Y'all have a good Thanksgiving. Hope y'all enjoyed the show tonight. I went a little long. Thanks for letting me rant. And thanks for listening. And I do appreciate every single one of y'all. Without y'all, there is no after show chat and there is no food chat with HD. Good night, gang. Oh, I didn't end it. I just played the theme. Good night. Good chance I wasn't doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. I didn't realize the camera would be coming back on.